Hello my buddies, and today we will finally be returning to the Legend of Zelda series with a look at the instalment that launched in 2000 and became the second Nintendo 64 title, but would seem to take on a completely different direction and route we have so been used to, as Link finds himself in Termina, a parallel world to Hyrule where the Skull Kid has commanded the moon to destroy the land in just 72 hours. And amongst this fantastically set atmosphere and adventure lay some cracking Easter eggs, secrets and references, as over the next two parts we will cover Majora's Mask on the Easter Egg Hunter. Welcome everyone to the home of finding sweet chocolate Easter eggs within our video games. Number 1. To the southwest of Clocktown, you can wander and hike down the Milk Roads to where you will discover for the first 2 days a skilled carpenter working and chopping upon an enormous boulder, kindly left in place by the Skull Kid, which now blocks the road ahead to Romany Ranch. However, on the dawn of the final day, the boulder will have been dealt with, but Link can destroy it days earlier by using a powder keg, obtainable from the Goron powder keg shop, or in the west part of Clocktown you can find the bomb shop, where you'll have to wear the Goron mask. Once upon the ranch, head to the right where the path leads to a house and a barn nearby, where you can find two sisters, Crimea and Romany, both of whom possess yellow neck scarves that are gripped together by brooches, which are shaped like Bowser's head. Number 2. While we stand amongst the fields of Romany Ranch, we might as well take advantage of the fact that Link's trusty steed Epona stands, rests and awaits Link's attention nearby. Quickly hop onto her and navigate back down the Milk Road towards Clocktown, but rather than continuing onwards, take the second turning to the right, as this passage leads to the Gorman racetrack run by the Gorman brothers. A first glance at these two siblings will probably trigger a reaction from you, and you might be thinking how they resemble our beloved Luigi. Their actual model has directly come from that of Ingo's from Ocarina of Time, whom also looks like Luigi, and his employer Talon look much like Mario. And while Gormans appear to have the characteristics of Luigi, one at least is wearing Mario-like attire. On a side note, if you head to the Milk Bar in East Clocktown, why not check out the bartender, Mr. Bar 10, who possesses all the features of Talon and once again, Super Mario. Number 3. Throughout bustling Clocktown in many of its establishments, and in this case we are going to use the Stock Pot Inn, home of Anju and her mother, you can spot decorative cow figures dotted about numerous shelves, and they really don't do much other than spruce up the place. That is, until the final day when the clock takes on a dark tone. The moon is ever closer and doom and gloom has descended across the entire land, and every so often, roughly every hour, Termina will be shaken by slight earthquakes that will cause those statues to bobble the cow's head, bringing a little cheer and happiness to these dark times. Number 4. Whenever you start off in Clocktown, you'll be directly in front of the clock tower. If you turn Link 180 degrees and pass through the wooden door behind you, you'll firstly be greeted by the happy masked salesman, who we will talk about in part 2. As you follow the path downward and below into the chamber situated underneath the clock tower, you'll notice a running stream that appears to drive the main cogs for the clock itself. If you have the Zora mask, then pop it on and dive into the stream and sift about below the surface, where you can gaze at 3 patches of green cloudy algae. If you look upon these closely, they seem to resemble Nintendo 64 controllers. Number 5. The Astral Observatory features to the east of Clocktown, which is at first only reachable by venturing through the underground tunnels, or if you've acquired the Deku mask, Link can use the Deku flower located on the outskirts of the perimeter fence at the observatory and then float on over. Once inside this funky, fun and colourful place, make your way downstairs to where the Scarecrow rests, and pots, or jars if you like, are scattered on the floor, and what seems to be bits of paper flung on the wood panelling below. If you smash the pots, you will reveal and uncover another scrap of paper, but this time containing an image of what appears to be a dolphin, and more than likely a reference to the codename of Nintendo's 2001 console, the Nintendo GameCube. Number 6. Within the Great Bay region, accessible after you and Epona jump a fence together, leads onto the Great Bay Coast, Zora Hall Coast, Zora Hall, and the Great Bay Temple and Third Dungeon. During these segments, Link will pick up the Zora Mask, now filled with the spirit of Mikahu, and legendary guitarist and band member to the Indie-Go-Go's, and final point of interest for today's episode. These band members can all be located in separate rooms inside the Zora Hall. To visit each one, Link must be wearing the Zora Mask at all times, and after passing through the first door, Link will meet Tio, a manta ray playing a set of drums continuously. The track? Well, this is the cave music from The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. In the next room to your left, you will find a guitarist strumming out another tune, and this is the Underworld Tones from The Legend of Zelda. And finally, to see us out until part 2, Evan Azora, bandleader and pianist, treats us to the Game Over track from also The Legend of Zelda.